Magandang araw mga bata! Ako si Ma'am Regine, ang teacher mo sa math. Today we will be learning about undefined terms. This is a lesson for grade 7 mathematics under quarter 3 lesson 1. Kaya tara na and let's do the math. Undefined terms, this is a lesson under geometry. Geometry is a branch of mathematics that studies the sizes, shapes, positions, angles, and dimensions of things. For undefined terms, we have three. We have point, and this is how a point looks like, a line, and a plane. Tulad ng aking nabanggit kanina mga bata, these three undefined terms are under a branch of mathematics which is geometry. And in geometry, formal definitions are formed using other defined words or terms. However, these three words in geometry are not formally defined. That is why these 3-point line and plane, these are called the undefined terms. However, while these words are undefined in the formal sense, we can still describe these words. And today we will be describing these three undefined terms. Let's discuss them one by one. Starting off with point. A point indicates a location or position in space. This is how a point looks like. Tuldok sa Tagalog. It has no dimension. Also, a point is usually named with a capital letter. See, for example, meron tayong point dito. Its name is point A. That's how we name a point. Next, we have a line. A line extends in one dimension and in both directions. This is drawn with arrowheads on both ends. This is what a line looks like. It extends in one dimension. When we say dimension, it has infinite length. Ang dimension ng line ay length lamang, but it has no width and height. Compared to a point, ang point, it has no dimension at all. Pero ang line, it has one. Meron siyang length. When we say infinite length, humahaba itong line. Meaning, it can be extended in both directions, left and right. That is why arrowhead yung nasa dulo niya. Arrowhead means that it can be extended forever, infinitely. As for lines, it can be named by a single lowercase script letter or by any two or more points indicated in capital letters. Say for example, we have this line. This is line A. Pwede siyang single lowercase or maliit na letter lamang, kaya line A. Or, it can have 2 points, A and B, and this can be named as line AB. Or simply AB. You don't need to write the term line. However, you need to write its symbol on top of it. The symbol of a line is a line with two arrowheads on both ends. It means this is line AB. So, you can write it this way, line AB, write the word line, or pwede rin naman na just use it simple. Either of the two is correct. In some cases, there are also times wherein a line can have more than 2 points. Just like this one, we have 3 points, A, B, and C. Dito sa ating line na ito, how many lines can we form? First, we have line AB. So, this is a line. This is our first line, line AB. Aside from line AB, we also have line BC. This is our second line. And of course, this entire line is line AC. We also have a plane. A plane is a flat figure extending indefinitely in all directions. This is an example of a four-sided plane. It has two infinite dimensions, length and width, but it has no height. Kaya naman, kung ang point ay walang dimension kahit isa, ang line ay merong isa, length. For plane, it has two, length and width. All of them has no height. Itong plane na ito ay pwede natin extend sa lahat ng directions, sa left, right, up, and down. It can be extended. And it has length. It also has width. A plane can also be named by a single letter or three coplanar but non-collinear points. When we say coplanar, it refers to points and lines on the same plane. For collinear, it refers to the points on the same line. For example, dito sa line, A, B, and C, itong tatlong point na ito ay collinear. Silang tatlo ay nasa line AC. For coplanar, let's have an example. Say for this plane, we have 4 points, A, B, C, and D. It means that all these points, all these 4 points, A, B, C, and D, they belong to one plane. Naming this plane, we can name it as ABC. Points A, B, C. Nasa gitna yung B, siya yung vertex, just like how we name an angle. However, this is a plane. This is a symbol for plane. You can either write plane ABC or you can use a symbol. Aside from ABC, we can also name it as BCD. BCD. It's also referring to this plane. We have 4 ways on how to name this plane because it has 4 sides. Aside from ABC and BCD, pwede rin ng CDA, CDA. This also refers to this plane. Nasa gitna ang D. Or pwede rin naman ang DAB. DAB. And then, put the symbol. Itong 4 na ito ay yung possible name nitong ating plane na ito. Just make sure na kung ano yung nasa gitnang letter, ito talaga yung tinutukoy natin. Hindi pwede yung nag-overlap. Say, for example, ACD. That's not possible because it's not the vertex of ADC. Dapat di yung nasa gitna. Just be mindful na dapat interconnected yung ating mga ibibigay na points. Another example of a plane. This is plane M. Kung hindi binigay yung mga specific points, ang binigay lang ay isang letter, we can simply name this plane as plane M. Let's have a simple activity. This is an illustration of a girl sewing. We have to determine the undefined terms suggested by the following real objects that this girl is using in sewing. First, we have the tip of the needle. So this is the needle. We'll have to determine which undefined term is suggested by the tip of the needle. Not the needle itself, but just its tip. Next, thread. And we have the cloth. So these are some of the items that this girl is using in sewing. I-identify natin kung anong undefined term yung kanyang nire-represent per item. Let's start with the tip of the needle. Ang tip of the needle, it represents the point. Just like what I mentioned before, yung ating tinutukoy dito is just the tip of the needle, yung kanyang pointed tip, yung nakakatusok na parte, hindi yung needle itself. Yung needle, this is a line, yung karayom, yung kanyang dulo, yung kanyang pointed tip, it represents the point. Next, we have the thread. So, itong thread, yung sinulit, it represents a line. At syempre, yung cloth o yung kanyang tinatahi na tela, it represents a plane. Let's have an activity. Let's refer to this illustration. We have to name all the points, the lines, and all the planes. Let's start with the points. These are all the points that we can see. We have point E, Q, S, Y, R, T, and W. We have 7 points. Next, naming all the lines. We have line EQ, line ER, line EW, RY, RT, TY, line QS, line SY, line QY, QW, and line WT. So for this figure, we have 11 lines. Next, let's name all the planes. We have plane REQ, REQ, meaning this is referring to this plane, REQ. Aside from REQ, pwede rin ang pangalan niya ay EQY, not EQS. EQY, or pwede rin naman na QYR, or pwede rin na YRE. It's possible. So for this plane, we have 4 possible names. Pare-pareho lang yun. Hindi natin sila pwedeng ilista lahat because it's only referring to a single plane. Next, for RTW, this is the plane that it's referring, RTW. Ito yung plane na yun. So ito ay 4-sided plane, kaya meron din tayong 4 na paraan kung paano ito papangalanan. Aside from RTW, pwede din TWE, WER, or pwede rin naman na ERT. 4 names for this plane, pero it's only referring to a single one. We only need to list one name. Next, we also have another plane, QWT, QWT. And this is referring to this plane. 4-sided plane din siya. Aside from QWT, it can also be named as WTY. Pwede rin na TYQ, hindi TYS. Pwede rin naman na YQW. Dahil siya ay 4-sided na plane, we have 4 ways on how we can name it, all referring to a single plane. Next, we also have the plane EQW. EQW. This is a 3-sided plane. Aside from EQW, pwede rin na QWE or pwede rin na WQE. All these 3 ay referring to a single plane. We have 3 ways on how we can name this plane because it is a 3-sided plane. Last one, we have RTY. RTY. Aside from RTY, we can also name it as TYR or YRT. We have 3 ways on how we can name it because this is a 3-sided plane. Therefore, in this figure, we can name a total of 5 planes, wherein 3 of them are 4-sided figures and 2 planes are 3-sided plane figures. Using the same figure, let's answer true or false. Points E and W are collinear. So we have point E and point W. Are they collinear, true or false? When we say collinear, tulad ng nabanggit natin kanina, these are points that are on the same line. The answer is true because both points E and W are on the same line, EW. Dahil ang points EW ay nasa line EW, therefore siya ay collinear. Nasa iisa siyang line. Say for example, points R and W are collinear. They are not collinear because itong R, hindi siya kasama sa linya nitong W. Itong line na ito ay hindi para sa RW. This is for RY. Ang mga points na collinear kay R ay itong E, itong T, at itong Y lamang. Yung W ay kanyang opposite. Hindi sila collinear. Next, true or false? Line QS and line SY are collinear. So, ito yung ating line QS. Ito yung ating line SY. Are they collinear? The answer is true. Because both lines are on the same line, QY. Ito yung line QS natin, ito yung line SY natin. All in all, silang dalawang line ay nasa line QY. Next, we have points Q, S, and Y are collinear and coplanar. When we say coplanar, all the points and lines, they all lie on the same plane. Ito yung ating point Q, point S, and point Y. The answer is true. The 3 points are on the same line, QY. Ito yung kanyang line, QY, na doon sa line na iyon, yung Q, S, and Y na points. And they are also coplanar because they all lie on the same plane, QYR. This is the plane. It's a 4-sided plane. So, coplanar din sila. Next, we have line YT and RY are coplanar. So, ito yung ating line YT. Ito naman yung line RY. They are coplanar. The answer is true. They are coplanar because they all lie on this plane. This is a three-sided plane figure, RTY. Lastly, we have line QS and ER are collinear and coplanar. Ito yung ating line QS. Ito naman yung line ER. The answer is false. Both lines are non-collinear, but they are coplanar. Itong line QS natin, this is not collinear with line ER. This is collinear with SY. Pero, line QS and line ER, they lie on the same plane, QER. So, hindi man sila collinear, they are coplanar. Among the three undefined terms in geometry, one of them can be further described. We have subsets of a line. As we know, a line is a straight one-dimensional figure extending infinitely in both directions. At itong dimension na tinutukoy rito ay yung kanyang length. This is how a line looks like. It's a line with arrowheads on both ends, signifying that it can be extended in both directions. We have the first subset of a line, we call it a segment. And then the second one is a ray. Now let's see the difference between a segment and a ray. Let's focus on the first subset of a line, the line segment. It is a piece of a line that has two distinct endpoints. And this is how a segment looks like. Comparing it to a line, yung kanyang dalawang dulo, yung magkabila ang dulo niya or endpoints ay mga points, hindi arrowheads. That is because it doesn't extend infinitely. Meaning, ito lang talaga yung kanyang sukat. It cannot be extended. Compared to a line, it can be extended in both directions. Therefore, a line segment is finite with a measurable length. If, for example, ang given natin itong line segment na ito ay 5 centimeters, it is 5 centimeters. Hindi ito mababago. Compared to a line, we cannot really measure it because it can be extended in both directions. For naming a segment, say for example, we have 2 points A and B, we can name it as segment AB or segment BA. Pwede natin siyang pagbaliktarin dahil both ends ay pareho naman na point. And then we can write its symbol on top of it. Its symbol is a line with two endpoints. Or pwede na naman natin isulat yung words na line segment AB, line segment BA. For segments, pwede natin siyang mapagpalit yung dalawang letra. It doesn't matter because yung kanyang dalawang dulo ay endpoints naman. Another subset of a line is the ray. A ray is a hybrid between a line and a line segment. It is also referred to as half lines. A ray has exactly one endpoint and this is called its origin, and then the other extends infinitely in the other direction with an arrowhead on top of it. And this is how a ray looks like. Ang sabi rito, this is a hybrid. Pinagsama siya na line wherein yung kanyang dulo ay may isang arrowhead at yung kabila naman ay line segment. Kaya may endpoint siya. Therefore, tinatawag siya na half line. Ito yung kanyang origin. So, itong kanyang part na ito ng ray, it cannot be extended. Ito na talaga yung kanyang endpoint. This is the origin. However, itong kanyang side na merong arrowhead, it can be extended. Therefore, rays are infinite and immeasurable. Dahil meron siyang isang side na nag-e-extend in the other direction, hindi natin siya pwedeng sukatin as compared to a segment. Now, for naming a ray, say we have 2 points C and D, we can name it as ray CD, but we have to be mindful, yung ating symbol, ito yung symbol ng ating ray, it's a line, wherein yung isa ay endpoint at isa ay arrowhead. Sa C, ito yung kanyang origin, so nandito yung endpoint. At yung D ay itong point na pwedeng i-extend. Kaya ito ay ray CD. We can also name it as DC, but we have to be mindful of the origin. Ang origin natin dito ay indicated na C. Therefore, dapat yung endpoint nito ng ating symbol ay C. Paturo siya sa kaliwa dahil yung D ay yung point natin na pwedeng i-extend with an arrowhead. Compared to a segment na pwede siyang pagpalitin, interchangeable siya, and it doesn't matter kung ano magiging position nila. For array, we have to be mindful. Dapat alam natin yung kanyang origin. Let's have an activity. We have here the word math, and we have certain points. What we have to do is to list down all the segments and all the rays. Unahin natin itong letter M muna. For letter M, ito yung kanyang mga segments. We have line segment AC or CA. Ilagay natin yung kanyang symbol. We also have the line segment CD or DC. Wala naman ng ibang line segment dito sa M. For rays, we have AB. Ang origin natin sa ray AB ay yung A. So, we have to be mindful. Meron pang isang ray DE na ang origin natin ay D. Ayun lamang naman yung ating segments and rays for letter M. Punta tayo sa letter A. Ang ating unang segment ay GH or HG. It can be interchanged. Another line segment, we also have HI or line segment IH. And we also have IG or GI. Yun lamang naman yung ating tatlong segments for A. Dun tayo sa ray, we have ray GF na ang ating origin ay yung point G. Aside from GF, we also have the ray HF, wherein ang origin naman natin dito ay yung ating H. Points G, H, and F, they are all collinear. Meron din tayong ray IJ. Ang ating origin dito ay yung point I. Syempre, meron din tayong ray HJ na ang origin ay H naman. Yun lamang naman for letter A. Punta tayo dito sa letter T. KL, ito yung ating segment. KL. Or LK, pwede rin. Wala na ako nakikitang segment for letter T. Punta tayo sa rays. We have ray LM. Ang origin niya ay L. We also have the ray KM. KM, wherein ang origin naman ay K. Points K, L, and M are all collinear. Lastly, we have ray LN. Ang origin ay L. Next, for letter H, line segments OT or TO. We also have line segment OR or RO. Lastly, we have line segment QR or RQ. Tatlong line segment lang yung nakikita ko rito for H. For rays, meron tayong ray OP. Ang origin nito ay O. At meron tayong ray TP na ang origin ay T. Points P, O, and T are all collinear. Next, another ray, we have RS. Ang kanyang origin ay point R. And we also have ray QS na ang origin naman ay Q. And these are all the segments and the rays on this figure. And that's it for our video for today, mga bata. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Ang Teacher Mo sa Math, for more grade 7 mathematics content. Turn on the notification bell para updated kayo kapag may bago na tayong lesson na i-upload. You can also comment. Feel free to comment and share your opinions and ideas. You can also ask some questions. At syempre, don't forget to like and share this video para mas marami pa akong mga tulad mo grade 7 na bata ang maabot at maturuan. Dahil ako si Ma'am Regine, ang teacher mo sa math.